What's up, guys? Day 77, and I don't know if you can see little man Tintin. He like blends in. Um, Today I'm going to talk about inner wisdom, and I was thinking, what number am I on? And I'm like, oh, 77, 77. And then I thought, let me see what that means in angel numbers, because 2 videos ago, or not yesterday, but the day before, I was talking about anchors. And then 77 means inner wisdom or intuition, kind of like awakening, that kind of thing. And I was like, okay, perfect. My intuition was telling me, look up number 77. So now I'm going to talk about inner wisdom, or AKA intuition. And I'm talking about it because that's one of the biggest relationships that I'm building for myself. And I feel like in the past, I definitely have always used my intuition. My dad always like drilled into my head, follow your heart, follow your heart, meaning like kind of follow the inner compass, inner guide. But I know that there's so much that we can do with that. And there's so much healing that you can do, like literal physical healing. And that's why I really have been practicing this more and more, which is why, since my intuition called me to look up 77, that now I'm sharing on intuition slash inner wisdom. And I just want to bring that to the table because in our minds, I think sometimes, you think things and then you start to question them or whatever. And I think that when we can just practice taking a second and listening to the inner voice, what it's telling us, is this in service of my dream? Is this in service of my goal or not? Because if it's not in service of it, then yeah, that's probably not a direction that we'd want to go. But if it makes sense and you're like, yes, this totally fits into the space that I'm wanting to step into, the person that I keep practicing to become every day, I think it's worth it to go for it. And I really don't believe in making mistakes, so you can always step this way. And if you feel like, no, I don't think so, you pivot and you can go this way. And the thing is, though, when you step, the action shows you whether or not that direction works for you. So we can learn through taking actions, yes, but I do also think the more that we practice the inner wisdom, we practice really listening to ourselves, feeling what feels good. I think that's like what the key, like what feels good inside of you. And it could be a nervous good, which people can, categorize as fear. But Marie Forleo, I love that she said fear could just totally be misunderstood. And it's actually like an excitement that's jumping around inside and giving you that like, ooh, I don't know feeling. But if it makes sense, again, to me, that's how I think about it. If it makes sense towards your dreams, then go for it. So get quiet, like take a second to just kind of listen when that voice comes in. And for me, it's just get curious. Get curious about where you're at and also where you're going, and constantly check in with yourself. Like, is this where I want to go? Is this who I want to be today? What are my goals again? Like, even though I have a million goals, they're not always just like in my brain. Sometimes I'm like, what was I like journaling about yesterday? Like, I have to go back and relook at things and study them and all of that. And it's a practice to make it all a part of your life. So I'm trying to think if there's another tool or anything that I can give you guys. It's still pretty new for me, like the new levels that I'm taking it to. Something that's really simple, and so many people would categorize this as ADD, but I don't care. I go with it because it feels right to me. And also, I guess I'm more of a right-brained person, which means that we will do a bunch of tasks kind of at once. So we'll do something and not quite finish it, and then do another thing and not quite finish it, and we can kind of ping pong. And I've found a way for it to like work for me, if that's similar to you. So, and if you've never done that before, maybe you could try it and see. But like when I don't have a day where I have to work, or maybe I have a good chunk of time where I don't have to work, I will be like, okay, cool. I'll make a little list. I got to get my laundry done. I got to, go to the P.O. box. I need to do whatever, clean the bathroom, like all these like simple life things. And I will literally be doing something, being in the middle of it, like let's say laundry, and I started the water, and then all of a sudden something will pop in my head like, oh, text so and so. So then the water is running, and I know if I leave it open, it's not going to start the wash. So then I run and I grab my phone, and then I text so and so, and then my brain will go, oh, remember Ingo wanted you to start the rice. Then I would go, oh, let me go start the rice. And then I go start the rice. And then I know because I can hear the water running. I'm like, oh, go back to the laundry. But the thing is, and this is why for some people they'll probably laugh at me and be like, girl, I don't know about this. But for me, what works is it's like an inner guide that's like kind of reminding me like these cues. And I actually just get so much done because I set out with the intention, okay, if this is like my 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, whatever, I just tell myself, don't stop moving. Don't stop moving. And I'm kind of totally opposite of my husband, where he will like start something and can't stop until he finishes it. And that's probably a really great quality. But I think for like my type of human, I think we have a really cool quality too. And I have totally used my intuition to guide me in that. And sometimes it amazes me at how much I can get done and how my brain can kind of like go here and then go there. And it's not necessarily that I'm multitasking. It's like I go to something and I do that. But when I feel called, I will go and just follow it over here. Obviously, like, perfect example right now, I had to get choreography in and send it in for Pro Bowl. So it's kind of why I'm like a little sweaty right now. But I like for that, I had to focus and I'm like, I cannot stop until this gets done. So I do that when I have flexibility. But when I know I have a deadline, I have to get something in, I was like, I gotta film this with music, counts, to the back, to the front, whatever. And I just focus in and get that done. So both do work. I just think the other way for me feels more organic and more like freedom and it's more creative for me. So that's just kind of where I'm at with my intuition and how I follow it and how I use like my inner guides and all that kind of stuff. And I'll let you guys know if more stuff pops up and how I use it. But yeah, cheers to the inner wisdom. I 100% believe to every ounce of my body that every single thing you want to know or do or achieve, whatever, all the how to's and everything, they lie within. So that's why I have been really focusing on creating all of this. And even though I'm a life coach and I love coaching people and I think it's so fun, it's such a fulfilling thing. I coach, and they do train us on this. We coach knowing that you know inside what's right for you, and we just help you bring it out. And so for me, I love digging within myself and using other mentors and stuff to help me dig, so I can really realize that. And my goal is to eventually get to that point where it's like kind of like all knowing, and I just get these downloads, and I'm like, okay, got it, got it, got it. And that's kind of where I'm working towards. And I started a 6-week Eckhart Tolle course. I haven't started yet because I'm in another course, but it technically started on the 15th, so not actually probably this week and next week I'm going to jump into that. And I think that will help a lot with kind of that inner wisdom and digging in. And there's also a girl, Emily Thatcher, who's really great at meditation. My cousin is doing her course, and I talked about it in another video. And eventually I want to do one of her courses as well because she's so great at meditation. And that's the thing, the inner wisdom is within, right? So we don't need to seek out anything. There's nothing that we need to do. Everything is all about just being and going within and like really being your most authentic self. So that's what's so fun about the inner wisdom. And it's just finding that roadmap inside, you know? So yay, day 77. Thanks, intuition, to guiding me to 77 and sharing with the world all my ADD ways. P.S. I've never been diagnosed ADD, but yeah, it's just that squirrel kind of thing. And for anyone who is ADD, I would just be mindful of like when people label you as something, you really don't have to take those labels on. Because if anything, you can redefine it and be like, I'm super creative, and it's on you to take responsibility to see how you can be functional in it. So that's what I do. I'm like, how can I be functional with the things that come natural to me, and how is this a tool and a gift for me? Because I do sometimes think that even if people get misdiagnosed, you will start to live into that label, and it might not actually be for you. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with it if it's like something that works for you. Like if you have a medication and you are working to kind of help your focus, cool, great, amazing. I take stuff for like headaches, whatever. Like to me, it's potato, all the same thing. But as long as it's in alignment with you, I feel like I just wanted to share that. Yay. Bye, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.